Hello and welcome to New Thought Life's vlog during this holiday season 2019. I'm so happy that people have helped so much. It's fulfilling of my own heart's desire to be writing, to be doing these vlogs, and be sharing about the spiritual life. So thank you to all of you that have participated through your visits to newthoughtlife.org, through the reading of Awakened Giant Sleeping Spirit, and especially for your communications on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you so much for this holiday, during this holiday season. Regardless of your beliefs, this season in December has really come to represent the season of giving. And so one of the things that I think is so important is thinking about what it really is celebrating. We've got the story of the Christ child being born, and really that's a metaphor in the New Thought Life way of thinking, that in this new way of having some new thoughts, it's really the Christ consciousness, what we would refer to as the Christ within becoming awakened. This transformation in Charles Dickens's Christmas Story, the main character Scrooge has, it's about this transformation that he undergoes in that story, from this person that absolutely hates Christmas and hates the idea of it, the bah humbug, to this person who has this complete total transformation through what I would consider as a metaphor for the spiritual awakening. Has this transformation that allows him to move from that place of hating Christmas to a place of saying, I will always love Christmas until for as long as I shall live. And that's this representation of the transformation that's possible in all of our lives. One of the things I think that we recognize here is that this is really the good news, I think, of the spiritual life of all religions. The good news is that today, regardless of your practice or your beliefs or non-beliefs, that this spiritual transformation is possible. That is the good news. That is what some people would call the Gospels. That is this wonderful news that we have. The book Awakened Giant Sleeping Spirit really is about that transformation that we have, this transformation that's possible. In the book, we see the Stanley Pearson, this person who's absolutely hopeless. And even though he's begun to have this spiritual experience, he's very depressed about Christmas and what he's going to be able to offer during this holiday season. He's got nothing. He's managed through struggling to save up just barely enough in the bank to even open and maintain a bank account. So he's got just less than $100 in this bank account. And the spiritual advice that he's given, and remember, this is all metaphorical way of thinking. What does it, ask yourself, what does this story mean to me? How can I place myself as these characters, regardless of how much you have or how much you don't have? That the advice that he's given by his spiritual mentor, Gary, is to empty out his bank account, get all $1 bills, take his children and give them the gift of giving that money away with him and his children to people that really appreciate just $1, and to do that over and over until all the money was gone. So he was asked, like so many of us are, to give up everything. It's this idea of giving up everything that we think, that we believe, the setting aside all of our old ideas, the good old ideas as well as the bad old ideas, this open-mindedness that the more we give, the more we receive. When a glass is half full or all the way full, in the cases of some of us when we come into the spiritual life, that we're this recovering know-it-all, that in the book, in the Awakened Giant Sleeping Spirit, Stanley has this experience of being able to give everything, that the more we give, the more we receive. And who is the richest person this holiday season? It's not the one that receives the most, it's the one that lives the most in this life of having the experience of giving. That it is that the richest person is not the person that receives, but the person who's giving, that's where our reward is. So I hope that this holiday season you'll spend some time with the New Thought Life website, that you'll find some interest and share stories from the book. And most of all, I hope that you'll have the experience of being able to give to those who are in the most need. And what a great message that carries, to be able to sit down and write a check to your favorite charity if you're able to do that. If you're not able to do that, and you just give out a few $1 bills somewhere, that's it's not the measure of how much, it's the measure of giving. In the book, when Stanley returns to his little place, there was some the minister had left a hot pot of stew on the stove, and just a little note saying, "To the richest man I know," because she knew that he had given everything that he had. And what happened? People began to show up and to set up a tree and to bring some presents for his children. All of these things that he was worried about. As soon as he opened up, and the giving and receiving is the same, that when I try to hang on too tight, my hands are closed. And when I open up, I'm open to give and to receive. Thank you so much for everything, and I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that you'll have a great holiday season and a wonderful upcoming new year moving into 2020. Thank you.